eventually comes back to you. So you gotta be careful, baby, and look both ways before you cross my mind.
Hey y'all, it's Naya. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how to do this simple brown smoky eye. And first thing I'm going to do is prep her skin using the Mary Kay Botanical Effects Moisturizer. Next I'm going to start her base, and for her base I used the Maybelline Matte Plus Poreless Foundation in the color 330, and I mixed in some of the Colourpop concealer in the color medium, I believe, medium 30, because she has very yellow skin and that concealer has a very yellow undertone and also is fuller coverage, so I mixed those two together to get her base. And I just want to say, excuse my bonnet, my hair was in a twist out and I wasn't about to take my twist down just to do this, so yeah, that's why I still have my bonnet on. We're gonna excuse her. But as usual, I'm going to do my foundation in sections. As you can see, I'm taking one brush and applying a little bit of foundation, and then I'm going in with a blending brush to blend it out section by section. And I do this because one, some foundations dry a bit faster, and since I mixed concealer in with this, it did dry faster and I didn't want to put it all over the face. And two, some spots of her face need more coverage than others, so that was that. And now I'm going underneath her eyes with the Colourpop concealer in the color Golden, I believe. Yeah, I took Golden, and I thought this was, I used it to highlight her face, but it wasn't quite as bright as I wanted it to be, so I'm using this first just for coverage, and then I'm going to go in with the concealer in the color Medium just to brighten it up a bit more. One tip that I have, if you are somebody that experiences a lot of under eye creasing, if you notice, I didn't put the concealer directly underneath her eye. I left a little bit of space, and I do that just so that I can blend it like in a thinner layer over the area. If you put your concealer directly right there, it's going to be a lot, and so it'll tend to crease faster. So that's a tip if you have creasy under eyes. Try putting your concealer on a little bit further away from right underneath your eye and then blending it upwards. And here I'm just going back in with the foundation brush to blend the highlight with the rest of her skin, and now I'm going back in with that color Medium to brighten her face up a bit more. I'm also going to use this color to highlight the bridge of her nose, her forehead, her cupid's bow, and her chin. And I'm going to blend it out with the concealer brush at first, and then I always like to go back in with the foundation brush just to make sure that everything is like a seamless blend. I noticed that if I only use the concealer brush, it's not going to quite blend into the foundation the way I want it to. So that's another tip. Blend your concealer in with the same sponge or brush that you use to do your foundation to have a better blend and make everything seamless. Here I'm going to go in with the Coty Airspun powder. I think I have the color translucent. And yeah, I only left that under her eyes for like 30 seconds or so. This concealer is pretty matte, so I don't find that I need to bake for a long time. Some clients I don't even bake at all, but yeah, I only left it on for a quick second and then I brushed it right off because, like I said, this concealer is matte, so I find that it lasts throughout the day without having to do a whole lot of baking. So I'm just going to dust that off. Next, I'm just going to spray her face with a little bit of water just to help everything to melt together. And I'm going to start on her eyes. So I'm going to be using the Colourpop Sculpting Stix in the color Typo. The name has been changed, and I'll put it in the description box what the name has been changed to. But yeah, I'm trying this new technique of using like black or brown bases for different eye looks. So usually I would use like a white base and then use eyeshadows, but I was like, let me try this technique because I noticed that it makes the smoky eye a lot faster. So yeah, I'm just putting this on her eye, and then I'm going in with the blending brush to blend it out, and I'm going to be going back and forth with that. And then once I get it to a place that I like, I'm going to start using eyeshadows. Okay, so at this point I started using eyeshadows, and I used the Morphe 35O palette, and I used like the center shade. It's like a brick red shade, and I use that just to kind of set this product, because it's like a cream product. And then I'm going to do the same thing underneath her eye, like her lower lash line. So I'm going to go in with the pencil and then blend it out. And then after I've gotten it to a place that I like, I'm going to go in again with the eyeshadow to set it and to blend it out more. At this point, I'm just going back and forth between adding eyeshadow and blending until I get the look that I'm going for. I also started adding a bit darker of browns. I use like the center row of the Morphe 35O palette. I use the very last brown. It's like a dark cool tone brown, so I'm using that on the lid as well as her lower lash line. And then I'm packing it and then blending it out and packing it and blending it out. And just going back and forth with that until like I said, I get the desired look. Now, just to add some shape and warmth back to the skin, I'm going to be taking the NYX contour palette, and I'm using like the first two contour shades because one of them is warmer, one of them is cooler. And I wasn't necessarily going for a contour or a bronze, I just wanted some color, so I just mixed the two together. And I'm putting that all around the perimeter of her face, everywhere that I would bronze or contour, except for the nose. I don't like to contour noses, so that's the only place I'm not putting it, but I am putting it all around the perimeter of her face. For her blush, I'm taking the Professional Blush 10 color blush palette from JLB Cosmetics, and I'm using like the last blush in the second row. It's like a natural peachy color. So I'm just putting that on her cheeks lightly just to add some color. I love adding blush. It's one of my favorite steps. And now I'm going to start the eyebrows. To do her eyebrows, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in the color Ebony. And y'all know that I love natural brows, so I'm just filling them in. I like to make a line on the bottom and then do hair-like strokes to fill in the rest of the brow. So yeah, I'm doing that, and I'm gonna add concealer underneath after I finish filling in both brows. Here I'm just adding some mascara, and this is just a random Wet n Wild mascara. I don't really focus too much on what kind of mascara I use because I always put lashes on anyways. So yeah, I'm just putting this on her lashes just to give them like a nice coat, just to make them black, putting it on her top and her bottom lashes. And now to highlight the brows, I'm going to take that Colourpop concealer again, and I think I used the shade medium. And I'm just putting this underneath the arch of her brow. That's also something that I learned, like a new technique. I only put it underneath the arch of the brow just to give a highlight and to clean it up just a little bit, because I do want it to still look as natural as possible. And now I'm going in with the JLB Cosmetics highlighter in the color Opal. It looks like you can't really see the highlight, but that's just because of the angle of her face. If you guys have this highlight, you know it's very natural, so this is one of those highlights there where you can't see it unless you turn your face a certain angle. So yeah, I promise the highlight is there, you can see it. It's just the fact that she didn't have her face turned to the side. Just as a kind of final touch to the eyes, I went in with the Black Radiance Pressed Powder in the color Ebony, and I just packed this on the lid as well as on the lower lash line and blended it out. I feel like you can't really tell that much of a difference like on camera, but in person It just made the eyes a little teeny bit darker. So yeah, I just added that for some more depth. And here I am just blending it out to make sure that there's no harsh lines there. And I'm repeating that same thing on the lower lash line. For lashes, I use the Kiss number 11 lashes. I said it before, these are my favorite lashes. They're cheap. You can get like a pack of 5 for like $8. So yep, love these lashes. And I always use the black Kiss glue, like not the black but the dark tone. Technically it's not black. And here I'm just lining her lips with a brown lip liner. I think this is a Wet n Wild liner. And now for lipstick, I'm going in with the Wet n Wild lipstick in the color 914C Mocha-licious. This is like, I think this is like a cream. It doesn't say it on here, but I think it's like a cream because I thought it was matte, but when I put it on her lips, it had a little bit of shine to it. So yeah, it's a really cute color, very natural. And then after this, I went over top of it with a little bit of a lighter lipstick. It's in a palette, so I can't look at the name right now, but I will put the name in the description box if you are curious about the color. Yeah, this is the lip. I was going for a very natural lip because I didn't want anything to be like too dark, because I wanted the whole look to remain there, like there, but still natural, like soft. I hope that makes sense. Here I'm taking the Aurora palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills and using the shade Eclipse in her inner corner. And there I'm just fixing up a little crease that she had from her smile line, and that is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as to follow me on all my social media, which I will always have down below, as well as to follow my model on social media, which hers will also be down below. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.